To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. These chickens have to be the most spoiled chickens I've ever seen. They know that when I come around, I got bread in my hand, and even when I don't, they still think I do. They were all tucked up underneath the bathtub here until I sat down to video this, and they all came out, which was great because I wanted you to see them, and you weren't going to be able to see them inside the bathtub. I think they got, what, 7 days left before we're going to put them out in the chicken coop that I built there. I still need to get a top cover on this. I don't want anything getting in. As a matter of fact, just a few minutes ago, our feral cat has been coming around, of course, again. The feral cat came down here and sniffed them out, and they all came up to the feral cat to figure out what the cat was, and they stared each other down, and the cat walked off. So I'm really thankful that the cat walked off. What I think is happening with the cat, at least, this probably won't happen with dogs, is the cat realizes, you know, there's too many of them. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to mess with it. Still need to get a top on it. I'm just going to use chicken wire. That way we can keep the birds of prey out. And if we get into a dog situation, there's just not much we're going to be able to do with a dog. I mean, I've had chickens before, and dogs will just do whatever they can to get to the chickens. And it's not like they're hungry. They just want to play, and they end up killing the chickens. And I've lost chickens just to neighbor dogs. I just got to figure out how to keep the dogs out of it. I think everything else we're going to be okay with. This is Friday, and I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday it's going to get down into the 30s at night. We're not really comfortable with them being outside in the 30s. We just read an article saying that these chickens are now fully feathered. They're over 6 weeks old. They should be able to handle temperatures at 30, you know, in the 30-degree range. But everything else says 40-degree range. So we're just going to wait until there's consistent. Look at it. They do that all the time. That's Frenchie. Frenchie, yeah, I don't understand it. And then the rooster. So you got Frenchie and the rooster right next to each other. They're picking on the other one. So then we're going to wait until the lows get into the 40s, and then we're going to put them out in the chicken coop. So next week we're going to have them out there. We're looking forward to it. I mean, they're getting pretty big, and they're making a big mess in the house now. You know, they flip the bedding material out, and you're constantly sweeping the floor. I enjoy their company, and they've become pets. Each one of them have a personality now. I can tell the tamer ones, you know, the more timid ones, over the more aggressive ones. Like Frenchie is pretty aggressive. It's funny how Frenchie is the aggressive one. The oddball color one is the one that's the most aggressive. You would think they would pick on the oddball, but it's the other way around. The rooster's starting to get a little bit more aggressive. In the beginning, we thought the rooster, somebody even said henpecked. He was letting everybody pick on him, but not anymore. We bring him out here on the nicer days. It's been raining for the last few days. We haven't brought them out, so they're pretty excited about coming out today. Frenchie is really good at finding worms also. Frenchie's kind of a unique chicken, but they're all friendly. Now, the thing is, I say they're friendly. Frenchie isn't as friendly as the other ones. I can pick all the other ones up. They're happy, they're okay with it. As long as you hold their feet, they're okay with it. Frenchie is the last one. She doesn't want to be picked up. Once she's in your hands, she's okay, but she's just like, okay, I want to make sure everybody else survives this before I risk my neck. I don't know how to handle the chickens when it comes to making videos. It's obvious that people don't like the chicken videos. I even went down into the deep analytics of YouTube, and what I've noticed is the ladies will watch the chicken videos more than the guys. My audience is comprised of about 60-something% of men and 30% something of women. But when I have a chicken video, it almost kind of reverses. But of course my views drop because a lot of the men aren't watching. So I'm not sure how to handle it. I wanted to talk about the advantages of your health when it comes to living off-grid. Somebody today suggested that, and I'm pretty sure it was a troll, but it's still a good suggestion. I need to talk about people, the people that I know, and how they can help me develop this land. And first of all, I'm a very independent person. I'm not a people person. And I know every time I say that, people are like, yeah, right, sure, I shy away from people as much as I can. That's why I'm here, to get away from people. I got a no trespassing sign, and people were coming down here pretty regularly to meet us until I put up the no trespassing sign, and then nobody has come down. This lifestyle has made me extremely healthy, a lot more healthier than I was a year ago. Splitting wood by hand with, you know, a maul. Everything you do, you have to do by hand. Now, I intend to get a riding mower one of these days. I'm not really sure if I want to get a riding mower first or a gasoline log splitter. I think we do need a gasoline log splitter. At least eventually we're going to need one, so I'm torn between which one I want to get first. But eventually I'm going to get a lawnmower, and then we'll be able to cut the grass. The grass is starting to grow. And I noticed today when I looked out over the woods that it really is starting to green up. You can start to see green leaves coming out, sprouting out. Well, here, I'll get up close. I can see some right here. Maybe you can see that. I'm going to have to get the lawnmower fired up, so push more. The whole property is 1.5 acres. I don't know how much property I actually have to push mow. I can do it with about just a little over a tank of gas. The biggest problem is there's a big old ditch over there, and that takes a lot of effort to cut that ditch. The reason I bring this up is I've recently heard on the news, I don't get news, I don't spend a lot of time watching the news, getting depressed over the news, but I do watch a couple news organizations on YouTube occasionally whenever there's something interesting to watch. And they were talking about what this pandemic has done to people. And it's done two things primarily. And the first one I knew about several months ago, and I don't know the percentages, I didn't memorize them, and I have no intentions of memorizing them, is people have started drinking more. More alcohol has been bought in the last year than, you know, any other time in history or whatever. And let's just use some, you know, screwed up numbers. Let's say it's went up 90%. They considered liquor stores essential businesses, but then like gymnasiums were restricted. That's not an essential business. So we can do unhealthy things, that's essential, but to do anything healthy was non-essential. And then the other thing that I just heard today is people during the pandemic have gained an average of 20 pounds. Now I know that the 2 weeks that we had that cold snap, and in those 2 weeks I actually noticed a difference in my weight because I just stayed inside. I couldn't even imagine being stuck inside for an entire year and doing nothing but drinking and eating. And the other thing that all this pandemic has done is it's screwed up everybody's sleeping habits, which has messed with their people's hormones and, you know, all those things that I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, I can tell you, I force myself to come out here at least once a day and try to do something. Of course, with it being so cold for those 2 weeks, I readily admit that I locked myself inside. But if I had to come outside, I would have had hypothermia and frostbite and all that. So, you know, I may have gained 5 pounds, but I noticed it. But already, how long has that been? Well, it hasn't even been a month, I don't think. I'm sure I've already lost it, I can tell. And I'm back to being able to split wood rather efficiently with a maul. I just showed you a series of videos where these guys had these huge rounds at his house, and I split it all by hand on a hillside, in the rain, in the cold. And the other thing is I force myself to get up early in the morning. Even if I don't have anything to do, I force myself to get up 7 days a week early. That way, when 9:30 rolls around, I'm good and tired, where I get a good night's sleep. So now let's put all this together. And I'll try to format it in some sort of sense, even though I'm not a doctor. We have a pandemic, and so we force ourselves to lock ourselves into a house and do nothing but eat and drink. So we become overweight. We don't go out and do any exercise. And so then our hormones get all messed up. So we start drinking because we have anxiety and we can't sleep. We have racing thoughts at night. We can't shut our brains down. So we can protect ourselves from this virus. On the other hand, we could do it this way. You get up 4:30 in the morning, force yourself to do some physical labor of some sort on your property because you don't have electricity and you don't have all the fancy equipment. You don't have a riding mower, you have a push mower, and you don't have a log splitter, you have a maul. And then you're so exhausted by the end of the day, when your head hits the pillow, you just fall asleep because you're so tired. You sleep all night, nothing wakes you up. You get up in the morning and you're well rested. This is the benefit of living off grid. This is the benefits of living a more primitive lifestyle. Somebody said, oh, I feel so sorry for you that you're in this situation where you can't afford to do anything else. Well, that's far from the truth. I can afford to do a lot of things. I choose not to. I choose to be happy. I choose to be healthy. I choose to be free. One person, I triggered a troll is what I did. In one of my videos recently, I was talking about trolls sitting in their basement, getting drunk, and the only thing they can do is mouth off hateful things. And so this guy says, how dare you say that's all we do, sit around and drink? I don't know if he realized that he was admitting that he was a troll or not, but he was very upset that I was calling him out on his drinking behavior. This is a healthy lifestyle. So I hope I can inspire you to choose happiness, health, and freedom so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.